All right. Sorry about that. I was making sure our mics were unmuted. But hello, everybody, and welcome to another Tarot Thursday with California Psychics, featuring one of our fan favorites and top-rated psychics here with California Psychics, Psychic Marin here. How are you doing today, Marin?
I am fantastic, Carson. Happy May Day to you. How are you today?
I am doing fantastic. And yes, that May Day energy is kind of contagious. I'm feeling that new growth energy. There's a little bit of a pep in my step today, I've noticed. So I am excited to learn about today's card, which I believe is sort of, or at least one of them is centered around the Empress card and other cards that kind of symbolize new growth and kind of the spring energy that brings in. But just for our audience who may be joining us for the first time or who may already be familiar, we are going to be sorry, I saw something on the screen that should not be there. We do not use that promo code growth20. I need to make sure that gets taken off. But for today's Tarot Thursday live stream, Psychic Marin here is going to be doing a small, quick lesson over the Empress card and again over kind of the energy of May Day. And if you have any Tarot related questions or just kind of psychic insight related questions, how Marin kind of operates or performs her psychic abilities, as well as questions about the Tarot, feel free to put them in the chat and I'll go ahead and relay them to Psychic Marin here. And you can kind of get that one-on-one experience of what it's like to get into a psychic's mind. But then later in the live stream, we'll have a lot of time for some general card pulls. So make sure to stick around and keep your questions on hand because, again, Psychic Marin will have plenty of time to give you a card pull later in today's live stream. But that is enough from me. Psychic Marin, can you take us away with today's Tarot Thursday lesson?
I sure can. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. As previously stated, today is May 1st, also known as Beltane or May Day, which is a day of fertility. So, going back hundreds of years ago, we had these days where we plant and days where we harvest. And this is one of those days and energetically within the year that we are planting those little seeds. And so we can build upon that metaphorically what that means. So it doesn't necessarily mean our crops in the garden, but it can mean anything in life that we are trying to grow. So those little dreams, those little seeds that we are going to plant, today's the day. So I'm going to go over the number one card in the tarot associated with May Day and that sense of fertility and abundance, and that is the card of the Empress. So we're going to start with this Rider-Waite-Smith version of the Empress. You can see that she's seated on this throne and she's got this scepter in her hand. She's got her crown. She's got the heart with the Venus symbol. Very, very feminine energy. On her dress, we see these little berries, and those berries are ripe with fertility. But this picture, it's a little discreet, a little hidden. We can't quite tell that she's pregnant in this picture. In a lot of decks, it's like very, very obvious. We see this round, pregnant belly. But in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, there's kind of like a nod to the fact that she's could be pregnant. The fact that she's relaxing in this chaste lounger, very lavish. So she's being waited on. She's being served, and so in theory, we'd like to see her as this pregnant woman. So on California Psychics platform, we steer away from giving readings regarding medical issues, which includes fertility. So if you're calling us asking about fertility and pregnancy, we're going to have to steer away from those questions. But for you personally, if you're at home and you're really working on manifestation or you're really working on pregnancy and conception and fertility, if there's a card symbolic of that, this would be the Empress. So for those of you that have joined us before, you're familiar with like setting your screensaver on your phone as a certain tarot image, or working with candles and candle manifestation, or just even waking up and putting this card on your altar, on your nightstand as kind of a reminder or a symbolism to reflect on throughout the day. This would be the card that you would work with if you were working on fertility, in any sense of that concept of fertility and growth. So Miss Empress here is symbolic of that fertility. And I wanted to do a quick comparison with a couple other tarot decks. This is the fifth tarot. And in this deck, we can see this artist's representation of the Empress. They've chosen to show the earth as that green and that lush and abundance. We've got the little deer and some animal life, but much more of like a pagan, more primitive symbolism in this deck. And then this is the Tyro Tarot. This was a promotional California Psychics Tarot deck quite some time ago. And in this card, we can really see that fertility with the woman, with the little infant. Kind of looks like she could be pregnant again, but again, the same symbolism that we've got with the fruits in the background, all the greenery and the abundance of just growth in general. So, if you've been wanting to work on fertility in any sense, today is the day to harness that energy of Beltane May Day. When we think of May Day, often the first image that comes to our mind is like that celebration out in the forest with the fairies dancing around with the maypole. Well, the maypole with all the ribbons and everybody intertwining. That maypole is a symbol of fertility. We've got the hole in the ground with the phallic pedis staff in the middle and all the ribbons and everybody intertwining and pulling all this energy together. That's what that maypole is symbolizing. And it was often done at the very beginning of spring when the gardens were planted and we danced and celebrated. So however you want to harness that energy today and bring some of that dance and celebration into your life and that fertility into your life, today's a day that is rich with all of that energy. So if you've got any fertility related questions in that sense of how to really work with the tarot, or if you've got any tarot questions in general, I'm happy to answer those. But this was just a quick synopsis of the energy of today and the energy within the card that's most representative of this. And we're going to jump into regular questions and then some card pulls later. And we're going to wrap up today at about 10 minutes till I've got an appointment on the line. So this is going to be a shorter session, but bring your questions my way if you have any before we jump into our reader pulls and questions.
Amazing. Marin, that was a wonderful breakdown over the Empress card today. And for anybody that may have missed any of that information, just a reminder that we will be posting this on our page right after the live stream ends. So you can go back and rewatch and kind of absorb Psychic Marin's explanation a little bit more if you'd like to later as well. I did see one question from T, just kind of about these cards, or specifically the Empress. Do you happen to see these cards more often during this time of year, Psychic Marin? What is your kind of personal experience with maybe like exactly that question? Do you see these cards more during this time, or maybe any other instances or examples of certain cards you may see during other times of the year?
It's a good question, and in theory we'd like to think that since this card really matches this energy in this time of year, I get this card quite often in all circumstances throughout the year. And anytime this card comes up for you, let's say it's December in the middle of winter and this card is coming up, not quite that spring favor energy, but it is a strong indication of that same feeling of fertility and growth. And if this card came up in the context of a job, you're trying to get a new job, you're interviewing, and this card came up. Well, the analysis would be that this is something that is going to push you to your growth. This is something that's going to give you that opportunity to possibly like promote, up level, really grow within this position, as opposed to something that's like, this is you're way overqualified, or it's not going to challenge you, not a lot of growth opportunities. So the translation, the symbolic meaning of this card would still apply even if it wasn't springtime, that feeling of spring and growth and all of that energy packed behind it. But I wouldn't say that I necessarily get this card more so during the spring. I think that we just need to remember what this spring energy feels like. And when this card comes up at any point in the year, you can associate that feeling of little flower buds and growth and everything that we see around us right now in the spring energy.
Amazing. That was a wonderful explanation. And T, we hope that kind of, or that answer from Psychic Marin also kind of helped answer that question that you had about the Empress card, or just kind of pairing timings with certain readings. But I am kind of looking through and not really seeing any other. Oh, wait, I do see one here from Marianne. Marianne from YouTube, she is wondering if the Empress is also representing kind of these birthing ideas, which I believe is one of the core aspects of kind of the Empress card.
Correct, Marianne, and thank you for joining us. It definitely is that birthing of energy and ideas. It's a birthing energy of ideas, but it's also the inception, like not even like the birthing. It's the desire even behind that stage of the birthing. So that feeling when you wake up and it's a spring day, beautiful day, and all the little flowers, and that sense of just growth, get out there and do something. It also has that sexual undertone because of this fertility energy. So if it's coming up in the context of a relationship question, or you're asking this in the context of relationship, this can be a tricky one to navigate, because it often can just mean that this is a real passionate, very sexual. There's a lot of sexual attraction or sexual chemistry in this card. We also see that with the tower. That tower has that very tower phallic representation too, and that I don't know if I'll be able to find it quickly, but that oh, here we go, second card. You can see that this is a very phallic symbol with this explosion of all of this energy. So there are some cards within the tarot that are really more of that sexual passion dominant, and this is one of them because of the concept of fertility. So yes, it's the birthing of ideas, it's the birthing of anything that you are wanting to put out there, whether it is a in human form, or a plant, or a house, or a new job, whatever that birthing of ideas and energy is. Today's the day to really plant those little seeds and then go for it.
Amazing. Marianne, we hope that explanation from Psychic Marin resonated with you as well. Just kind of looking through, and I think that's mostly all the questions that we have today over the Empress card and today's tarot lesson. Just a reminder that during today's live streams and our Tarot Thursday live streams, this is an opportunity to ask your questions kind of about how psychics work. Obviously, we like to keep it a little bit themed with tarot. So if you want to ask any questions specifically about certain tarot cards you see, maybe even more than the Empress card as featured today, feel free to do so. We always love to give some extra insight or explanations to kind of the reasonings behind these card pulls, or just general explanations for any of the questions that y'all have. In addition to general card pulls for certain situations like love card pulls, general card, etc. But again, want to make sure that these Tarot Thursdays are always seen as a learning experience for y'all. And Psychic Marin is a wonderful teacher, which is, I believe, a wonderful way to segue into if you want to get that one-on-one experience with Psychic Marin, you can do so on CaliforniaPsychics.com or our California Psychics app. Now, if you want a fast-track way to do so, you can click the link in the description of the live stream you're watching right now, and that will pull up Psychic Marin's profile on California Psychics, as well as that ability to book an appointment with her or hop right into her queue so you can get that one-on-one reading experience with her. She is not limited to just tarot. We like to keep it a little bit themed with Tarot Thursday kind of rolling off the tongue. But Marin is gifted in so many different areas, and she is also one of our most gifted timeline psychics at California Psychics. But I could go on and on about how great of an experience it would be if you get that one-on-one reading with her. So I will just go ahead and give it away to you, Marin. When is the very next time you are going to be online and available for those one-on-one readings on CaliforniaPsychics.com?
Right after this live, I'm going to be on for about 4 hours. Then I have hours Friday afternoon and evening, a little bit sprinkled into Saturday evening. But my typical schedule is I'd like to work a block of hours in the afternoon and then again in the evening almost every day. You know, I tend to work about 30 hours a week on the line and then do some additional marketing stuff like this in the background. But usually I'm on about 30 hours a week, and I always accept appointments, and I'm pretty flexible with my schedule. So you can reach out to customer service, say that you can only read at 8 in the morning on a Tuesday, and I'm never scheduled at that point. You can always call customer service and request a special appointment time, and I'm happy to accommodate.
Yes, Marin said it wonderfully there. But again, if you have any questions whatsoever, either booking with a certain psychic like Psychic Marin here, or just getting started with California Psychics, please direct our questions either to our social media pages or our gifted customer care line. They'll be able to help you walk through any of the steps you need with getting started. Now we have quite a bit of time for some general card pulls today. And if you're wanting to see kind of a little free preview of Psychic Marin's abilities here, we have a excellent opportunity to do so right now. For those who are wanting that one-on-one experience with more deeper insights, remember that you can go to CaliforniaPsychics.com for any more information about maybe some of the cards or insights you received from Psychic Marin today. But without any further ado, Marin, if you are ready to go, we could start pulling out some questions.
Yes, sir, Carson. I'll take it away.
All right. Our first question here for you, Marin, comes from Renea. She is requesting that you pull a love card for her, please, just in general.
Love card for Renea. Okay. This, gosh, give me just 1 second because I'm trying to see the context of this. Gosh darn it, this is really puzzling for me because I don't see that this is such a scary energy, but we've got a really vicious 10 of swords, which is just I feel like you're past this. This is the card of you are just ugh, I gotta say, you're just deader than dead. You've got all these knives in your back, you're face down in the dirt, you're frustrated beyond comprehension. So this is just not a pleasant card, and I'm sorry that we're starting off this way. But the positive, the little glimmer of hope with this energy is that this is a 10 numerologically. That's completing this cycle, and what starts over is a new opportunity, new growth. So this is making me question, are you done with a relationship? Are you ending a relationship? Are you struggling with a relationship? Because this is showing like I'm just done. I'm gonna let go. I'm going to let go because I'm so defeated. And this knives in your back, I mean, that's a betrayal energy. That's a tough, tough energy to get around. So I'm really pausing for a second when I'm looking at this card to try to understand the timing of this and how this is playing into your life. And I feel like it was almost what you've experienced, and now you're trying to purge this energy. You're trying to get past this so you can start over, start anew, because this is just a painful cycle. So not the best card. I'm hoping we can turn it around and start to look at a new opportunity. And today, with it being May 1st, that is that perfect day to really meditate, to harness and pray for that new start and that fresh start, birthing, as we've used that word previously in this episode, birthing of a new idea or new relationship.
Amazing. And Renea did provide some additional context that, yes, she did have an ex reach out the other day as well, if that kind of supplements the meaning as well.
Well, I'm assuming this is the description, or this is what that relationship with that ex felt like, because you're still hanging on to a little bit of this energy where it's like your guides are saying, let's get rid of this so we can welcome something new.
Amazing.
So
Thank you,
thank you
Renee,
for your
for joining
question.
us during today's Tarot Thursday live stream, and we hope you enjoyed that answer from Psychic Marin. Reminder that you can get more insight in a one-on-one reading experience on CaliforniaPsychics.com. Now, our next question comes from Ashley, who is requesting another love card. Can you possibly provide a timeline of when Ashley can expect to be married as well?
This is a pretty positive card. This is a Ace of Pentacles, which is following this theme of new beginnings. That ace is the one, or that ace is the indicator of you've got everything right in the palm of your hands. This is a go for it card. When I'm looking at actual marriage, they're showing me fall of next year. So it feels like this is a long, like I'm stretching this out quite a bit. So late October, November of next year is that timeline for marriage. But this is more of I mean, in the context of love, this is more of an indicator of new, or like change, or a new start. So I'm shown kind of these two different concepts. I'm shown brand new start, but then I'm also shown marriage at the end of next year. So I'm questioning if you just entered into a relationship, if this is something new and you're anticipating that this actually could end in those wedding bells, because that's how I would pair those energies.
All right, Ashley, we want to thank you for attending today's live stream. And we hope that card pull answer from Psychic Marin resonated with you as well. Definitely let us know in the chat if it did, and we'll share with Psychic Marin. Now, our next question for you, Marin, comes from Ava. She says she's feeling the Empress vibes today, too. So she just wanted to express that. But for her question, she wants to mention that things have slowed down with her new love interest, Nate. For her love card pull today, can you tell her when and if they will be moving into a committed relationship? And do you possibly foresee him as that kind of forever life partner, or more of the temporary partner in her life?
Mm. Well, here's what's peculiar about this card. I was talking earlier in this lesson, or live today, about the Tower and the Empress, and these cards that really have a lot of that sexual energy. This card, the Devil card, is also one of those cards that represent that real strong sexual chemistry, as we see this Adam and Eve in a compromised state, in more of a chained, they're bound together. This is like an addiction or an obsession, or not necessarily this healthy relationship. So what I'm worried about is that what you're showing me in the images paired with this card is that there is this hot and cold, or on off. And I'm getting this very strong sexual chemistry that's what's reuniting you. And then you go your separate ways, and then you reunite. And so I really don't see this as what I would show the healthiest connection, the healthiest romantic relationship that has love in the foundation of this marriage. So I'm a little worried seeing that what's really holding this together, the glue of this relationship, is in fact the sexual compatibility and the passion. So be careful with this. And as you're looking and kind of looking a little deeper into this relationship over the coming months, because I still see you in each other's lives, be mindful of these patterns and be mindful of what really is this relationship. Does it feel like it's more of a friends with benefits type of relationship? Does it feel like it is more of this sexual compatibility, which is really what's keeping the two of you together? Because I encourage you to look outside of that, which you guys obviously have down very well. Let's look at the other aspects of this relationship, because those are weaker. So is it really true compatibility where you could see yourself marrying and living together and merging lives and sharing finances and seeing that this is somebody that you really want to be your partner in life? I think you're going to have some different concerns. So I would look at this and really enjoy it for what it's worth, But in making some decisions and how serious this is, I encourage you to look at what the passion really is versus what the reality is. Can you guys get through this relationship in difficult times? It's possible, but there are some weaknesses in this relationship that I encourage you to look at. I just see it as more of a fun compatibility, a lot of sexual chemistry, but not necessarily this long-term life partner. And that's going to help you in starting to see those patterns and why I feel like it's lacking in some areas. Sorry.
All right. Ava, we want to thank you for attending today's live stream. And though that message may not have been, I guess, the most positive, we hope that is insight that you ultimately need to hear from Spirit. So thank you for attending today's live stream as well. And yes, thank you,
One more
Psychic.
question, Ava. I
Oh,
am
yes.
uh I'm being told August, and it feels like it's towards the earlier part of August that I am getting another partner opportunity coming in. So I feel like that energy right now is fun. It's kind of that spring fling fun energy, but keep your eyes set on August because that's when I'm getting this new, what I would consider more of a life partner for you.
All right. Yes, just that additional clarifying information from Psychic Marin. And thank you, Marin, for that answer for Ava. Now, our next question for you, Marin, comes from Gabriella. Gabriella is wondering more in a career stance when she will, or if and when she will be, excuse me, when will she be getting her job and will her finances be okay? Thank you so much for any insight.
Okay, thank you. Slow. This is a slow card. So this is kind of more of a timing card. We've got the Four of Swords here. And this is somebody that is actually lying within a casket. We've got this stained glass window in the back so we can see or denote that this is a church. And we've got all these swords that are just pitting you down. So this is a sluggish energy. What's frustrating about this card is it's similar to that hanged man energy where you're just stuck, you're pinned down. But the beauty of this card is that you're supposed to be. There's a reason why you are in like a holding pattern or you're waiting. And often I feel like it's a message of something better is going to come along. I'm shown mid-June. So I feel like it's close, but if you're getting discouraged or if you're feeling like there's just I'm not seeing a lot of opportunities and this is taking a while. There's a little blip at the very end of May that I see you like you're getting excited, but it doesn't quite pan through. And then I get this real discouragement. So I'm trying to keep your spirits lifted. And if you're feeling a little bit of that uncertainty right now, I'm really wanting to encourage you to wait till around the middle of June. Let's just say June 15th to keep that easy figure for you to remember. I feel like by then 12th, actually they're showing me the 12th is when I see communication starting. 15th, you're already in the process of interview and discussion. So you're going to have a job by the end of June, but don't get too discouraged when that opportunity late May does not pan out for you. You're supposed to be waiting for something better that's coming along in the middle of June.
All right, Gabriella. We are wishing you luck on finding that new job as well. So definitely keep us updated along that journey. And you can always keep Psychic Marin updated as well when you visit California Psychics. Gabriella also saying thank you for that insight, Marin.
Yes.
And now that we're about a little bit over halfway today's Tarot Thursday live stream as well. Reminder that we are going to be ending just about 10 minutes early today at around 12:50-ish Central Time, 10:50 Pacific Time. But right before we get into our next question and resume with some of our card pulls, I just wanted to elaborate. And for those who maybe want some additional information over some of the card pulls or insights that they have received today, or for those who want a guaranteed answer to their questions, you can always go to CaliforniaPsychics.com, and you can even click the link in the description of the live stream you're watching right now to pull up Psychic Marin's profile on CaliforniaPsychics.com, where you can hop right into her call queue or book an appointment for that one-on-one reading experience with her, again, with a guaranteed answer to your questions. Now, Marin, I heard you're going to be going online right after this live stream today. Can you go ahead and let everybody know, just reaffirming that? And when is or excuse me, what is the rest of your schedule looking like for the rest of the week?
Yes, Carson, I will be hopping on right after this live. I've got about 4 hours scheduled this afternoon. And then I have some hours on Friday afternoon and evening, some evening hours on Saturday. But the majority of my schedule consists of afternoon and evening hours. I accommodate all the different time zones that way by making myself available in kind of this broken schedule. But my schedule's pretty flexible. So if there is a time that really works for you that you don't ever see that I'm available, reach out to customer service. They're happy to schedule appointments at the top of the hour. Or sometimes, like just on Monday, there must have been a dozen callers waiting. And if you see this huge wait list, but you don't want to wait, or it's too hard to predict when you could actually get that call, you can always call customer service and get an appointment slot right at the top of the hour, so you don't have to wait, and you can kind of bypass a lot of those people in the queue. So that's a little tip if you want to get in and have that set appointment slot and not have to wait. So I take appointments, and customer service can help you with booking those.
Wonderfully said, Marin. And I was just going to, yes, absolutely stress that point. Yes, if you have any questions about getting started with California Psychics, or just getting your appointment booked with a certain psychic, if you're feeling a little bit lost or stuck on how to get started or how to get that next appointment with Psychic Marin, maybe your queue's a little bit full, please direct your messages or calls to our customer care line. They will be able to help you out. They are so wonderful. So yes, just definitely wanted to stress that. And for those who want that guaranteed answer to your questions, make sure you go to californiapsychics.com and get your reading with Psychic Marin here. Again, you can click the link in the description. Now we are going to resume with more free card pulls for today's Tarot Thursday live stream. Marin, are you ready to answer our next card pull question?
Yes, I am.
All right. Then we have one next from Vicky, who is requesting a general card, please.
Okay, Vicky with the general card. This is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is a little bit of a stubborn energy. It's seen as if there's this hand coming out from the heavens, like a gift from God, gift from the divine. And here's this little opportunity. The cups in the suit of tarot are associated with the element water, which is emotion and feeling. This is like a lot of passion and feeling. And here we are, so stubbornly looking and focused on these three cups right in front of us that we're not even noticing the holy grail of opportunities that is just being presented. So this is a card of like shifting your focus. If we are so focused on what's right in front of us, we're missing this other opportunity. So this is a shift of perspective. This is an encouragement of changing your ways, maybe breaking old patterns and cycles. How is your life needing to be shaken up a little bit, or a little bit of relaxing or releasing some of that we, whoopsie daisy, we had a little glitch there. This is suggesting that we kind of let this energy go, and we stop fixating on what's right in front of us and maybe forcing or pushing a situation. Because if we can tend to let that go, there's an emotional opportunity. There's something that's going to make us really feel connected if we can surrender to this, let this go, and make way for something new.
Amazing. Vicky, we want to thank you for attending today's Tarot Thursday live stream, and we hope you enjoyed that free tarot pull from Psychic Marin here. As a reminder, you can always get more insight or additional guaranteed card pulls whenever you go to californiapsychics.com. And Vicky saying thank you just for that answer, Marin. And our next card pull is going to be from Susan. Susan is just wanting to thank you for your time, Marin. Her birthday was this past month on April 9th, but she is just kind of wanting to know if there are any general messages from the cards that she needs to know for the kind of the rest of this month or maybe the rest of 2025.
Okay, so when I just drew a card for you, I drew two. Sometimes this happens, and a little learning lesson that if you're working at home with the tarot and you go to draw a card and you draw two, I encourage you to actually read both and look at both of these cards because often they relate or they're important. I wouldn't just return them to the deck and think that this was a mistake or I need to draw another one because I should just draw one. Nope, we're going to draw both because there's a reason for this. We've got this card of the Two of Cups, which is seen as a very divine union or seen as this coming together. But unfortunately, it's in a reverse position. So this is indicating like a little bit of trouble in a relationship or the dissolve or changing of a relationship. And so I'm looking at this going, was there a shift in your relationship? Is there a little bit of a separation? This is giving me a little bit of concern. And then following that card, the second card that I got was this is a card of also leaving and moving. So we've kind of got a double whammy here of this energy of transition. We've got leaving and going to calmer waters. We've talked about this card before where we see these choppy waters on one side and the calm waters on the other side. So this indicates that you are leaving. It could be physically leaving, could be that you're moving, or it's symbolic of you leaving a relationship or it's time to go. But it makes me kind of question, have you been through a separation? Did you go through a divorce and now you're really making some changes in your life? Like, I'm curious about the physicality that usually this card means that you are physically leaving and exiting out of a situation. So some slightly heavier cards in terms of tearing away from this emotion of this relationship, but definitely a card that's bringing you to a more positive situation. So your guides keep saying, keep persevering, keep going, keep changing because it's a longer journey for you.
All right. That was a wonderful answer. Susan, we want to thank you for attending today's Tarot Thursday live stream as well. And we hope that answer, just those two cards from Psychic Marin, resonated with you as well. Now, our next question for you, Marin, comes from Daniel. Daniel is saying he is cooking for Jennifer. I believe this is, yes, somebody he is just kind of engaged with, or not, I guess that formal term, but just kind of, yes,
Yeah,
talking with, yes, on Mother's
partnered
Day.
with.
Yes, exactly. And he wants to know if she is going to be excited for him cooking for her on Mother's Day. Thank you.
Okay. I get well, this is the Knight of Cups. So this is a card of movement. The knights are timing cards. So this is a knight in a horse that's just getting ready to move. And the indication of this is it's like a very small step. We're not like some of the knights where they are off to the races 100 miles an hour. This is like I'm stepping into this relationship, which is perfect for the energy I was feeling when I get your question is I the advice I want to give you about this, and we're not seeing this in the tarot, this is more visually in what I'm told, that she's going to be very, very nervous. So I it makes me feel like you guys are 13 years old and this is like a schoolgirl crush and your very first girlfriend that you're so nervous around and both of you are so nervous around one another. But I would anticipate her just being very formal and very quiet and very proper and not like I'm just going to dive into that kitchen with you and be by your side and cook alongside of you. Like I just don't get that comfort yet in this relationship. What I'm shown is more of a whoa, oh, okay, what should I do? So be mindful of her energy being a little less comfortable than normal. And I would make sure that your emphasis on her is equally what you're putting into the cooking and the preparation and not worried about like, are you really, really impressing her so much with the cooking? It's more of, oh, I see her just sitting here going, what do I do? And that's what you want to nurture. And so how can you include her in the cooking, or how can you make her feel very comfortable and that you're chit-chatting through the cooking, or even quite frankly just saying, hey, you want to come chop some onions, you want to be a part of this, and make it like a little bit more collaborative. I know that's not what your original idea was, because you're trying to wow her and impress her, but I see it almost kind of creating a different energy than what you're expecting, and that she's kind of got this frozen energy. So make sure that you nurture that so it's not as awkward of an evening for you. That's just a little tip to make it feel a little more collaborative. Otherwise, if you see that rigid energy, maybe pour her a glass of wine or a sparkling water or something, just to make sure that she's a little less awkward.
All right. I think Daniel kind of resonated with
Just
that
get the
answer as well. So thank you, Daniel, for attending today's live stream, and we hope you enjoyed that answer from Psychic Marin. Now, our next card pull is going to be from Ellen. Just a card pull. Well, actually, right before that, Marin, I was going to go ahead and give you a quick shout out because we have a few minutes left before we end today's Tarot Thursday live stream. We will
Yes.
be ending just a few minutes early, but for those who are wanting a guaranteed answer to your questions, make sure you go to californiapsychics.com or visit the California Psychics app. You can always click the link in the description of the live stream you're watching right now to pull up Psychic Marin's profile on californiapsychics.com, where you can hop right into her call queue or book that appointment with her if you would like to skip the queue and get that call right at the top of the hour. But Marin, you've been providing some wonderful answers during today's Tarot Thursday live stream. So for those who maybe want to kind of continue that energy, maybe want to get a little bit more insight over the answers they've received today, or just kind of want to get a more personalized reading, Marin, when is the very next time you are going to be online and available on californiapsychics.com for those one-on-one readings?
Well, right after this live, I'll be on for about 4 hours this afternoon. And then tomorrow, Friday, I have afternoon and evening hours, some evening hours on Saturday. But I always break up my schedule to accommodate the different time zones. And you can always reach out to customer service if you want assistance with booking an appointment at the top of the hour, so you don't have to wait in my queue.
Wonderfully put. And once again, cannot stress enough that our customer care line can help you with so many different things, with getting started with California Psychics to helping you get booked with some of your favorite advisors. So you can always send them a message or give them a call. You can also, if you're having a little trouble finding how to reach them, you can always send us a message on our social media profiles as well. Now, again, we have a few minutes left before the end of our Tarot Thursday live stream. So we want to thank you, everybody, for attending today. But as we get through our next few questions, we have one here from Ellen, who is requesting a career card from you, Psychic Marin, in regards to her finding a new job.
Sure. And Ellen, today, with it being May 1st, if you didn't join us earlier, watch the recap of this lesson, because today, being May Day, May 1st, it's a huge day packed with a lot of energy exactly for what you're asking about: finding a new job, planting those little seeds. Today's a day of fertility and putting those dreams into motion. So we talked about this earlier. If you weren't able to join us for this lesson on the Empress card we've got over here, but working with that energy today is going to help you. But let's get a card for you to see what's going on a little bit deeper into the situation. 10 of Wands. This is a card of burdens. This is a card of actually letting go. Makes me question if you've been in a miserable job, if you're in a situation where you just feel like all of these burdens are weighing on you, or it could just be that you've been searching for a job and you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders. This is like, I'm carrying all this burden and responsibility and debt and all of this headache around. When can I let this go? You're showing me the tail end of May. I also can appreciate the fact that you're not showing me like you're super particular about the jobs, that it's more of like, I need something, something that's going to get me out of this feeling. But I'm shown that at the very end of May, and it looks like a quick turnaround in terms of hiring. By that first week of June, I feel like you're starting. So this is going to move really quick. But not a lot of opportunities that you're seeing throughout May that are going to be financially rewarding enough. So if I look at that last week of May, if you're holding out a little bit for that higher income, that last week of May is when I see that opportunity surface for you.
All right. Thank you, Ellen, for joining today's live stream as well. She has, yes, been looking for a while, so that insight was very much appreciated. Thank you for attending today's Tarot Thursday live stream, Ellen. And again, you can always get more insight on CaliforniaPsychics.com. Now, our next card pull question for you comes from Verena. She's just kind of looking for a general card pull. Some insight is that she's had a recent Reiki session about 2 weeks ago, and she felt like her throat was muted and a bit blocked as well. She kind of is feeling even more off after that session. So just kind of any insight that you may have, Marin, just kind of that she needs to know.
Okay. So when I connect with you, I'm not even drawn straight to the tarot. My attention's brought upwards, and I get quite an older woman that I immediately am doing more of a mediumship reading and getting pulled towards her. And I keep getting this is, I don't know if we want to dive into all of this on this live, but I keep getting like concerns about relationship or disapproval about relationship and standing up, or that's where you're getting a lot of that throat chakra blockage or a lot of that energy. It feels like just kind of borrowing your analogy or what you've talked about. I'm just getting, you're not standing up for yourself, you're not speaking up for yourself, you're not putting your foot down, like you're not really clear in those boundaries. But when I'm really getting this parity with this relationship that feels like it's family that is crossed over, I'm getting more of like a gentle little scolding, almost like a, no, you need to stand up for yourself, put on your big girl panties, and like really find that voice. That's what that energy is, and you're getting it from a lot of different directions. So I don't, I'm going to pull a card anyways, just since this is the Tarot Thursday. But her energy is like this spitfire, like, no, you put your foot down. This is the Page of Pentacles. So you're essentially the page, which is this more youthful energy. And the pentacle is this crystal ball that you're gazing into of, what do I really, really want? Like the power from her is more of a, you need to dream bigger. You deserve better. Stand up for yourself. Really start to speak up because you're getting walked on. What are some bigger dreams and some bigger opportunities that you aren't even feeling like that's in the cards for you, or that's possible for you? So as we've been talking this whole lesson today, it's May Day, it's May 1st. Like, I just want to send you this big whoosh of energy to believe in yourself and be able to use this day to plant those seeds and manifest. Journal if you enjoy writing, but do something today to really find this energy to say, you know what, I am worthy. I am going to dream bigger. I am going to desire something greater. And I'm going to use this energy of this relative that's just encouraging me and here to support me in finding something that's really more aligned with my worth.
Amazing. That was a wonderful answer, Marin. And we've kind of reached around the end of today's Tarot Thursday lesson. But wait, y'all, there's an amazing, I guess, little shout out that I want to give real quick. This month is our 30th anniversary month. And so we have a bunch of special offers, gifts, activities coming to y'all throughout this month, including on our social media pages. So for those who maybe did not get their question answered today, this is your quick tidbit sneak peek before tomorrow. There is going to be a special offer that hits our page on California Psychics. So stick around and make sure to go ahead and get that offer. Again, we want to make sure that y'all have I guess, can benefit somehow from today's live stream. So I just wanted to make sure I shout that out. So that way y'all can kind of keep an eye out and take advantage of that cool gift coming out tomorrow on our social media pages. Marin, you've been providing some wonderful answers during today's Tarot Thursday, and we tried to get through as many possible questions as we could. But as you go to get online to California Psychics, as you mentioned before, can you let everybody know what your regular schedule is like throughout the week as well? Uh-oh, it looks like Marin may have kind of gone offline, but she did mention that she likes to have hours in the afternoon. This is PT time, but you can also catch, oh, Marin, you're back.
I don't know what happened, but I have hours this afternoon. I've got about 4 more hours today. I'm going to be working starting in 5 minutes. And then I have afternoon and evening hours on Friday, evening hours on Saturday. But typically every week I work a nice chunk of hours in the afternoon and in the evening to accommodate all the different time zones.
Amazing. We want to thank everybody for attending today's Tarot Thursday live stream. And as a reminder, unfortunately, we will not be hosting next week's free live preview of California Psychics, but we will be returning next week. This is a final note as well that we have some special gifts and offers hitting our page, even starting tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that, and you'll have an awesome thing to take advantage of. Marin, we'll let you go so that you can get online at California Psychics. But once again, we want to thank everybody for attending today's Tarot Thursday. And until next time, bye-bye.
Thank you.